Hey guys, and welcome back to some more World of Warcraft news. We're getting back to our roots because, yes, Legion is coming, and we gotta educate you guys about it. You know, a lot of you guys don't want to go parsing through the interwebs and looking at all the blue posts and stuff like that. You want to know what's going on. So we got some more news from DragonCon this weekend. This weekend they decided to tell us a few things. So a bit of class news. Demon Hunters, as you know, as we mostly know, are a hero class. Turns out they're starting currently around level 98. Death Knights aren't going to be boosted up. Like Worgen, when Demon Hunters turn into their form, like their demon-y form, they're not... Turn off my sound so you guys don't have to deal with that. They're not going to... like Worgen, they are going to get a little transformation. It'll be a short transformation, some demon visuals and so on and so forth, obviously. You know, they will have glaives. That will be a new weapon type, apparently. Double jump that they get won't be disabled anywhere, so apparently that's all game for PvP, which is good. If you're a demon hunter, if you're not and you don't like that, that's bad. Survival hunters, as I'm going to do a bit of a video on, are actually becoming melee hunters. And I play a hunter. I'm actually okay with that. We're going to get Beast Mastery as pet with ranged weapon. We're going to get marksman as ranged weapon, no pet, and survival hunters with melee and pet. But the survival hunter weapon, the artifact weapon, is going to be a spear, so that, or a polearm as you might call it, which means melee, but they are going to have actually a kind of a pull, so you're going to be able to throw the spear and pull mobs towards them, which is actually pretty damn cool. It's like a Mortal Kombat get over here kind of thing, you know? I think it's pretty cool. As they kind of talked about already, a lot of specs are being overhauled big time. I think that's good news. A lot of specs and a lot of classes are kind of homogenized at the moment, and that kind of sucks. That's one reason why I'm really happy they're doing that big hunter change. I'm okay with getting back to some melee hunter roots. Although we never really were supposed to be doing melee, and I leveled to 40 using melee until some guy told me I shouldn't be using Ravager, even though it made me spin around. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, some big overhauls. Apparently, almost all the specs, it says most specs are being overhauled. In fact, tweaking the fantasy to fit them, you know, some will even be renamed. And like when hunters got focus, some classes will be getting new resources. In fact... and renamed as well. Shadow Priest, apparently no mana. They'll be getting Insanity. Maybe they will have mana, but Insanity will be their new prime resource, so I don't know what that's going to be. Hopefully it's not going to be as boring of a DPS spec as it is currently, you know, just shoot laser at a guy and for like 8 minutes until you get a Shadow Orb, and yeah, ugh. I'm not a big fan. And then, so some people were kind of iffy about... On the rogue front, some people were kind of iffy about their class hall. It's going to be in the sewers of Dalaran. And if you guys remember that, it's kind of a small place, and it's mostly people run down there to get melee, or no, to get their PvP stuff and whatnot. But apparently it's going to be really cool, not like a sewer at all, look-wise. Apparently a lot of treasure chests and roguey things. Apparently there's some... I'm trying to remember exactly what they said. But I know combat's actually going to be changed a bit to be more of a swashbuckler. I think subtlety now is going to be the poison, and assassin might be just more like fast aggressive combat. Fast aggressive fighting stabby moves and stuff. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go, but it will, especially with how very homogenized I found rogues and why I stopped playing mine. It's kind of cool to get a new update. Now, the update, if you do go on MMO Champion or Wowhead or those sites and read it, actually, it does say no big update plan for Moonkin model, which is kind of a sore spot when you think about it. Like, as druids, and leveling one myself now, that the Moonkin model is the same as it's been for 12 years, and it's not attractive. That's why a lot of people use the stars, I think it's a minor glyph? Yeah, the stars glyph. Even still, it kind of sucks that your form that you have to go into to get proper spell damage looks ugly, and to be honest, I kind of feel like why not get rid of it if it's going to look terrible? But it says there's not going to be any update, and then someone tweeted that out and they got a response and said that was a typo. Moonkins are actually going to get a very, high def model. That being said, Moonkins are giant fat bird guys. I would rather some options like how feral druids are getting like their cat form will change bit to bit. I think it would be cool to get the option of a glyph so you don't actually have to go into moon form and your weapon will change as well, like with artifacts, or your artifact will also change your form, because I don't think I'm going to be playing much balanced druid, sadly, if it's just going to look like a big fat bird, as high res as that's going to be. Next news, no major glyphs will be added. I guess that's not really a big worry, depending if you're happy with your glyphs. I don't really think that's going to be a big deal. Most of class changing things are in your talents anyway, and with PvP talents coming, that's going to be really awesome. Apparently as well, no gnome hunters yet. So you guys who've been championing that cause, and I know a lot of people are, sorry, no gnome hunters yet. Maybe when it makes sense to add them, as they say. Oh, good news in professions, however. There will be a single system to upgrade profession items. The current item will be destroyed, giving you reagent when you do so, which is kind of odd. I think that's kind of like you have to destroy the item you have and maybe have some other resources before that, and then you have to remake it with the item you get. It is called Obliterium, which is kind of a tongue twister. It's like obliterate, but Obliterium, which is, I don't know. Someone's going to actually say it officially, and we're going to know how to properly say it. That's all we need to know. I like my beard. It's looking good in this video. We're going to there's a new team working on professions this time, so hopefully that's a good thing. I don't know if Warlord's professions were bad, or just the fact that that's pretty much all you got to do, seeing as that's really all there was to do with garrisons. So who knows? Hopefully it'll be really cool. We're going to be getting some crafting quests even. So yes, profession quest lines. So I guess if you're a blacksmith, you have to go find the rare ore in the bottom of the mine of the place and wherever. I don't know. It seems cool. Maybe go get some Kajamite, because we are in the Broken Isles near where I think that's near where Kazan is. It should be kind of cool. I don't know. Prospecting can make a return. I think I remember what that is, to be honest. Professions will have no daily cooldowns. Thank God. Seriously, those were horrid. Like, ugh, that's what made it terrible. You had to log in every day to do this horrible thing. So hopefully the new system will be really cool. Big transmog news. If the new system is account wide, the item must be usable by the class trying to use it. But what you guys might not know yet, if you're kind of confused what I'm getting at, is transmog is changing drastically. I guess we can call it transmog 2.0. If you guys have ever played Diablo, the system in Diablo is that if you have like gotten to a certain level or have got the item, basically if you have got the item, you can transmog into it. You don't have to have it actually. It just saves like the item ID and says when you go to transmog person, if you have ever possessed this item, you can make your weapon look like that even if you don't possess it anymore. It's a much better system. Saves up a ton of bag space. Holy crap, I need it. If you guys watch Blizzard Watch, Matthew Rossi and Stickney, those two guy and lady have been very happy about this fact, and I am too. I want to save up a lot of bag space, and it means that when you're questing, if you pick up the weapon or pick up the item, you just have it. It's maybe you have to like take him to the transmog guy or the void storage guy, and he like breaks it apart and you get it. That's probably what they'll do to like, not have to just waste a model. They'll be like, okay, you're there now, you're going to like pay a fee, like maybe 10 gold, and you get to keep the item look permanently. It would be a pretty good gold sink. I think that would be something Blizzard would go for, because they do like to have gold sinks in the game. But that's going to be the main thing. A huge change, I think my chair's falling down. Yep. My chair likes to sink slowly, but yeah, a big change coming to Blizzard, or coming to World of Warcraft as transmog goes. That horrid system is going away. No tabard tab, though, is coming, but once we get rid of all that space that we lost with all our items, we should have more space for tabards. Or, just make the tabard vendor, like, 50 silver for a tabard, and he saves everything you've ever gotten. That's easy too. And another multi-strike being removed. To be honest, I don't know. I never really paid attention to that stat very much. Well, it's an interesting stat, but I guess the other secondary stats, like I guess the lifesteal and those cool things, will have changes as well. So I guess multi-strike wasn't really, they didn't like how it worked. So that's going away. For crafted profession items, you could only equip 3 of them, and apparently that's coming back. I don't know if it's only going to be elites or, epic weapons or whatever, but you can only equip 3 like you currently can. And something along the lines of, it says there will be no specific item art for each race and class, as artifact weapon art is the priority. So I feel like they're not going to do something like that sounds something along the lines of they're not going to do they're not going to do what they did in Tier 9, Trial of the Crusader, where you get, like, the specific race stuff. Although that might just be for weapons. I'm not sure. I would like to see, though, in some raids, like, there is the stable of weapons you can pick up, even if it's just cosmetic. Because while we will have 4 or 5 forms for our weapons, and maybe they'll add more as the expansion goes along each tier, I want to see some other weapons. Like, maybe if I'm a paladin, I don't want to use Ashbringer the entire expansion, and maybe I have an amazing stable of things to transmog, but I want to see more stuff. Like, I want to see Legion themed weapons, and if I'm only getting to use the artifact, as really amazing and cool as that system is, that's kind of upsetting. Like, even if it's 5 colors per artifact, or artifact skin, and 5 artifact skins, like 25, like that's essentially 5 raid tiers of weapons to transmog into, or just 5 weapons that you get to use for the entire expansion, and we don't even know if we get to keep that afterwards. Like, do we get to then transmog one of our future weapons into our artifact weapon, or what's going to happen? Like, if we get Doomhammer, then do we just get rid of it? I don't know. But I'll get into more of the artifact kind of things and issues that we might have. I'll make a video on all of that soon, and a bit of a WoW 101. Only a few things left they really covered. Dungeons are going to be absolutely relevant again, apparently. Illidan will be leading the Demon Hunter, so if you love Illidan and you really want to play a Demon Hunter, you are in luck, because he will be your class leader. Well, you become the class leader with the class halls and stuff, but Illidan will be another kind of champion for you guys, I guess, which is really cool. Miscellaneous Park and Stormwind, not fixed yet, whatever. No plans for Jaina. Backpack might be updated. That's pretty cool. Because currently, if you guys know, the backpack is 4 squares by 4 squares. That is a 16 inventory slot you get at the beginning of the game. And back in the day, that was pretty good-ish. But now with the amount of trash you get, and the items you want to keep for transmog, and like the 4 to 6 slot bags you pick up at the beginning of the game, that's not phenomenal. You would like to have something. I actually am wearing a shirt underneath this, but it's just like a tank top, so it looks like I'm kind of naked underneath this hoodie. It would be nice to be able to get more storage right off the bat. Like, even give us a 32 slot bag, double it, because people are going to need it. You fill up your bags, and you're still going to be making, like, probably 40 slot bags are going to be the new thing. And that's all right. Like, show us some big-ass bags. Give people more space to start off with, because that's kind of a hindrance to leveling. If you're going to go out and you're leveling, you pick up a ton of trash, you always have to come back in the middle of a big, important quest chain, because you don't want to, you want to sell the stuff and blah, 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 and it's just giving that extra. If you double it, even, just double it. Double the size of the knapsack. That would help leveling flow so much faster and getting people through the game. And I think that while people might not notice and appreciate that as much, it will make a huge deal. That's my opinion, at least. And lastly, something along the lines of Warlords was not a filler expansion, and it built in some things that will be used going forwards. I know some people got kind of upset with how Warlords really tapered off after the leveling portion. Like, to be honest, it did kind of die out, because the amazing effort put in to the leveling didn't really, or the experience didn't really transfer over into the rest of it, sadly. But except for that, it was an incredibly fun game to play through. Just there wasn't enough end game, not enough story, not enough development, and you got 2 tiers. And while Tanan Jungle was really fun, that's the end of the game. This is the game we have now until like December or I don't know, February when the new expansion comes out. And I'm incredibly excited for the new expansion, probably maybe in April even. But until then, unless we get some kind of Ruby Sanctum experience or a lot more time walking things added in, I am kind of hoping that Warlords, what happened in there, paid off. And I hope what they're saying by this, like, not a filler expansion and built in some things that would be used going forwards, isn't saying that we had high hopes, but after X point, like after, we released the game, we're like, okay, we have to pivot and we're just going to make Gul'dan, like, build his story. And hopefully this doesn't mean they just redirect the entire expansion to build up for Legion. As much as I'm excited for Legion, I wish we got more exciting things in Warlords, Maybe, like, Garrosh died. You didn't even get to raid fight him. Like, it was an incredible, like, quest line and all that, but I feel like we missed out. Either way, guys, that's everything we heard at DragonCon. Hopefully you like this news. Hopefully you like the fact that this channel that a lot of you guys subscribed to in the beginning because of WoW news years ago that's what we're getting again. I love doing stuff like this. WoW really is one of my favorite games. And if you want to see more of my videos, anything like this, and what topics you want me to cover, I will be doing WoW 101's heirloom videos on, not heirlooms, on all the artifact weapons, talking about what kind of things it's going to do to the classes. If we see all these class changes like Insanity resource for Shadow Priests and Hunter melee weapons and rogue changes and everything else like that, it's going to be really cool. And as soon as we get that stuff, I really want to make a video for it on you guys. In fact, I am going to be doing a video, a bit of a theory crafting quite soon on how we're getting Thrall's Doomhammer. But except for that, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time. If you want to see more, remember, like, comment down there, and subscribe. Peace out. That was really cheesy.